Yo,
Hello.
my OBS decided to do its weekly breaking of everything, so if you could talk for like 10 seconds, that would be awesome.
I can do that. We're just hanging out,
I can
collecting
do that.
shells on the
Alright, we're
sea
good. We're
shore.
good. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, no, fucking. Like, sometimes my headset refuses to connect, and I, like, unplug it and replug it, and OBS just loses its mind. It's
Dude,
great.
after the new update to the newest version, like push to talk doesn't work for me.
I don't use push to talk, so I don't have not
You wouldn't
experienced that
know.
yet.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out,
I use it
collecting
because I play like in a
shells on the
sunroom
sea
off my living room,
shore. We're good. We're
and sometimes
good.
like my roommate
Yeah,
has
no,
people over or
fucking.
whatever,
Like,
Yeah.
sometimes my headset refuses to connect, and I, like,
so it
unplug
just
it and
helps
replug it,
filter out
and
some of that
OBS just
background.
loses
But
its mind.
that doesn't work
It's
recently,
great.
so we just kind of send
After
it.
the
The new update to the newest version, like push to
Yep.
talk doesn't work for me.
I don't use push to talk, so I don't have not
You wouldn't
experienced that
know.
yet.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out,
I
I never actually was told your strats for the first three fights.
um
I assume it's mostly standard stuff.
let's go over that right now.
Okay.
Um okay, so P5 we did like basically everything PF standard last week.
Okay.
If you
Uptime
quote
devour
unquote
or
know,
regular devour.
we do regular devour.
Okay.
Um yeah, regular devour for P5. None of the goofy uptime stuff for P6.
Okay.
We do 28, 12, 16 north to south. I'll have markers for everyone's spot.
Diamond weapon or limit cut?
We do diamonds.
Okay.
And then P6, like, everything's pretty standard. We do Far War. We do... we do the East-West knockback thing. Do, what is it, JP Death is the
Yeah,
second one.
brain dead death.
Yeah.
East west knockback. That's the non JP version, right?
I don't know for... There's just a thing where you're knocked into light parties.
Though, yeah, you're always knocked into light parties. The alternative one that I've heard of is like you get knocked through the exaflares and then you don't have to move.
You don't JPS flare.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. How our group used to do it is we all ran north and we would just stack northwest, south, or northwest, northeast, and then move behind the blades.
Mm. Yep. Okay, that's northwest southeast. Oh, northwest south.
No, northwest, northeast. I misspoke initially.
Double
But
north.
yeah,
Okay.
we don't do that in here. We just get knocked straight east west and
Okay.
then move north from there.
Okay.
What time in the fight does Devour end?
It's like
420-ish.
420 something. Yeah.
Bro, I fucking hate it when they like tell you buff at this time into the fight. And I'm like, bro, what time is that in the fight?
SMH, you don't just have a pull timer on your screen.
6:30
No, it's for
is Ruby 5?
like some groups in the descriptions or like CERP strats will say like buffs at like 7:10 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Oh, and you're like, when the fuck is 7:10?
Yeah, because I'm not like staring at my fight timer.
Makes sense.
So good evening, gang. How's it going, everybody?
Oh yeah.
I made lasagna. I'm eating it. It's pretty
Oh.
good.
Reducing a stock on my end right now, so I don't know what's
Fancy
gonna
shit.
happen with it. Yeah, my buddy's gotten me into cooking in the last year. He knows a lot, and I appreciate it because turns out I really enjoy cooking, like specifically for others. I love making something that I put a bunch of effort into, and like people enjoy it. It yeah, just makes me
Yo,
warm and
I love
fuzzy on the
cooking
inside.
so much. Yeah.
Dude, I love just like eating food.
Dude, I resonate with that as well.
Dude, I am
Dude, I
so into
love-
not starving.
I ordered like an entire cheesecake. It's my birthday, and I'm like halfway done with it.
Hey,
Today, happy birthday!
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. I like fulfilling my biological functions.
Okay, looks like we're just waiting for Val to get home and online, which is alright. Couple things I wanted to go over. The first one, which I'll touch on in a little bit, is loot. Current plan is to finish getting all of the DPS, quote unquote the new guys, everything you all need for BIS, and then supports get first dibs on loot to finish gearing one alt job of their choosing, and then loot will be free for all for the rest of the patch. Does anyone have any issues with that? Does that seem reasonable?
My main job only needs a weapon.
Reasonable to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
To be clear, the supports like have pieces from their alt job, so it's not like we're giving DPS like a couple pieces and then hoarding loot for like a month or something. I just think that's like the best way to optimize the group, but also get everyone like a set of gear. So
Fair enough.
yeah,
What
if there's
people need.
I just DM'd all of you DPS asking what you need. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't a ton. I haven't gone through all the DMs yet. I was just getting settled here for the day.
I know Claudio got this in the last session.
Oh yeah, he might be full BIS because he got chest and weapon.
There's no way you need anything other than chest and weapon unless it's not your main job.
But I would like to get a katana eventually, because I play both samurai and monk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I
Do
don't know
one-
if I'm, like for 6.3 ultimate, I would like to apply to statics as both samurai and monk. So like I would like to get both those weapons eventually, but it's no rush. Like obviously give people their main weapon first.
Yeah.
Okay.
fair.
I will. Yeah, that's something we can make happen over the next like month and a half or whatever it'll be.
Oh, real quick question. Sweet, are you busy after we're done reclears?
Today, yeah, I gotta go run a WoW raid.
Shit. Okay.
What are you?
I was gonna help Angu get their EX dungeon clear. After
Uh,
we finish.
So there's a small world. The WoW login servers are fucked up right now, so there's a small world where like people can't get in. Does Angu know the dungeon? Like we would get in and get out kind of thing, or are we learning?
We got them to 3% of the boss's health before we wiped, and the instance timer ran out.
Oof.
Sucks. Oh yeah, Claudio, if you want to do something meme and parse Unreal, what the fuck parse Unreal? Apparently the job gear is still biz for the head, hands, and feet slot. Yeah, surprised.
I mean, I guess you could parse Unreal, but
I don't know who does that.
Not that desperate for nice numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get nice numbers this Savage tier, so when I'm hosting statics or joining statics, they're like, oh, this guy isn't cringe. But that's about it, really.
I mean, groups that only look at your numbers are cringe anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially considering all the bad experiences I've had with ping parsers.
Oh
Yeah,
fuck.
having
pink
numbers
parsers.
does not make you a good player.
Pink parsers are the most mentally ill players I've ever played with.
You know, Popo,
It's
just because you can't get a pink parse.
If I get a pink parse, I guarantee you I will contract autism or something.
Dude,
Whatever those guys have, I want none of it.
Once I got one, I just wanted another. And why don't I just get on the rest of them?
I'm not pink parsing P8, P2, okay? I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
The other fights are actually pretty reasonable to pink on, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. P8, P2, you need to do so many weird scuff things.
P8, P2 is 99% kill time. Like, the only reason I have my orange is because the kill time was actually decent. Otherwise, you're cucked to a blue or a purple.
Yeah, long kill, because they removed the buff anyway, so long kill time doesn't help you with slices.
And there's so little uptime in the fight anyway because of high concepts.
Yeah, so it boils down to crits really hard. There's less crits, which means that each crit is more influential.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's, like, forbidden tech. Like, apparently if you use 1 minute early...
That's
You
not
stay-
even that forbidden. That's like just a reasonable strat. Like, if your group is progging and rage on the fight, you just do that. But it's not actually better if you have a real kill time, so it's not even that cursed.
Oh no, I mean before high concept 1, you send 1 minute.
I should have let you finish. I'm disgusted.
Oh,
Yeah,
What
you-
jobs can
you
even do
hold.
that?
You hold all your stuff?
You're
Do you
supposed to.
not?
Apparently, Warrior uses pre-pull inner release at 10 seconds on the countdown, so they don't lose a use of it.
Aha.
Monk does
And
some
Dark Knight
stupid
wants
shit.
to use a Shadowbringer, and also their 1 minutes really early, so they don't lose a use.
That shit
But
sounds
what-
cursed.
is Monk doing a
Oh,
pre-pull
there's a
riddle
bunch of
fire
weird shit about that fight.
No, Monk is just like perfect balance stack nonsense. Like I throw a perfect balance stack into nothing during high concept 2 so that I can have a phantom rush during the potion window with Phoenix buff.
Oh, do you do AoEs
Like-
to get your Phantom
like-
Rush?
Yeah, so like I throw an elixir field that just doesn't hit anything during high concept 2 because it'll
Oh
be
my
back
God, I
up in
hate it.
time. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hate it.
because like that hits during 1 minute window, right? So the like I would lose the stack, right?
Oh, okay.
I feel
get
like-
it, but I hate it.
I haven't looked into it at all, but I feel like it's possible that there's like a matification rush line in that fight, but I don't want to know because it sounds really cursed.
I just hate doing parsing fights, and it's like, oh, you have to do this weird shit. Like, bro, I don't want to do weird shit. I just want to
Okay,
press my buttons as soon as they're up.
You know what weird shit was actually really cool for parsing?
What?
Not in Kindle. Devotion buffering in E11. So, on Old Summoner, you could buffer your raid buff by continuously moving your pet, so it couldn't cast. But it would go on cooldown as soon as you hit the button. So then, when you wanted the raid buff to go out, you would stop the pet from moving, and it would cast your raid buff. So what you would do is, you buffer Devotion during the intermission thing in E11, and you actually net a usage with common kill times in parse parties.
That sounds a little cursed.
That
if I'm
sounds-
Yeah, but it means you have to be
very
doing the intermission while continuously moving your pet.
That's like
That is-
giga cursed.
Crazy cursed.
But it's cool!
It's like the cool kind of cursed.
Yeah.
There's a forbidden pet jank thing. I am slightly horrified here. However, P8, P2 Black Mage also needs, like, even if you play Speed Mage, which normally does standard, you cannot do just the standard. You need to do non-standard to be able to do decent damage.
Have you seen the clip of someone in a speed kill party remelding their gear during high concept?
Oh my
So they have the right spell speed?
Oh my god.
I've seen it.
Yo.
I don't want to do these speedrun parties. Every time I go in SERP and I see people doing speeds, I'm like, why, bro?
Yeah,
Why are
you know
you
what?
like hoping for the ultimate crit RNG that fucking everyone's fucking crits line up perfectly so the boss dies like 2 seconds faster than normal?
Yeah, but you know what? I would join one of those just so they have to do same relative high concept. That sounds really funny.
I got 2 snapshotted 99s for speed, so never gonna bother.
Damn, where do be Val?
I'm not sure. It's very unlike her to be late.
Yeah.
She normally flames the shit out of me when I'm barely early.
And then she shows up half an hour late.
So I had a trial last night, and they told me ahead of time we were gonna do like cursed DSR strats, right? You know what
First,
they've
I like it.
you know what they did for cursed DSR strats? So you know dive from grace, right? They rotate the boss a random direction at the start of dive from grace every pull.
Oh god, why?
And then do towers true north.
Why? Why?
So you have to switch your orientation to wherever the fuck the boss is facing, and then switch it back to true north right afterward to do towers.
You adjust on the fly!
It was honestly pretty entertaining.
That's yeah, that's messy.
I mean, I didn't mind, because, like, if you know what you're doing in Dive from Grace, the only way you really mess up is just going on autopilot. And when the boss is facing a random direction, you never go on autopilot.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
still very,
I'd
Like-
imagine
I'm still
they're
very
just
scared
making-
of Dive from
They're
Grace.
just making sure you can do the mechanic. and
Yeah.
You're actually using a brain.
Exactly.
You're using your brain cells. Like, if every group used APD standard strats, then eventually you'll just get a trialee who already knows APD strats and they'll pass with flying colors and you don't really learn anything about them.
Yeah, they intentionally did, like, 0 PF strats, which works fine for me, because I never did PF strats.
I mean,
boy,
my
I told you
static
that
didn't
last
do-
week. I said, if you're gonna trial someone, do curse DSR strats.
Yeah.
It-
I mean, that was the only curse strat. Everything else was pretty reasonable, but, like, my metric for reasonable is not very high, because blind prog, you do the worst strats possible. Like, at one point we had a vertical lineup for death, even though our spots were oriented horizontally. Like, we never used the 2 people in one spot strat, where one person's farther inside, because we never figured it out. So, I don't know, nothing else seemed that cursed.
Oh my god, I remember like in the first few months during the DSR patch, everyone had their own PlayStation. It was so annoying.
Yep.
And I think, and in the end, they started using the. I think the one Crystal used. Even Elemental switched to that one just for consistency.
Whatever the
That was weird.
box death strat is the one I like the most.
Oh, that's what my group did.
I think
Yeah,
that's
the-
really easy.
You just use your like mid-hog pairs basically.
Did I
And-
post the Giga macro for that?
The macro?
Yeah, the Elemental has a very long macro for DSR.
I haven't seen
Oh,
that.
if you have it, paste it in. I want to see what it is.
It's there in the chat.
Oh my fucking
Holy
god!
fuck.
Look, my man, I'm not reading a game facts guide every time I go in the instance. I'm just saying that.
Jeez. Okay, if you want to do Giga Curse strats, actually, the most cursed thing I think you could ever do is non-brain dead Exaflares.
Oh god, no.
We did that.
What, you mean actually read it?
We
before
actually
the one?
read Exaflares, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was like... That's like also like the uptime strat too, I think. Like, if you want to not
Yeah,
waste a DCD moving back. Like,
it
you
is
actually
more
read it.
uptime. Well, so the thing is, it's only sometimes more uptime. There are patterns
Yeah,
where
like one
even
in
if you
four.
read it, it's still downtime.
It's like 1 in 4 is downtime or something like that.
Yeah. So that's why, like, I've actually never heard of a group doing non-brain dead on purpose. We only ever did it because we hadn't figured out brain dead.
Yeah, Brain Dead was pretty easy to use. We just went with that because it's like,
Oh yeah.
why think, dude? But like,
Any...
I learned how it actually is like meant to be resolved first.
Yeah,
And it's
so...
like you have to actually like use your brain and figure out, oh, okay, which Exaflare doesn't point to the other Exaflares.
One of
And
the
then you just-
Exaflares is pointing at the other two, and neither of them will point at it. And that's the one that you go to.
Yeah,
but-
basically.
That was, I think, the first, like, there was a brain dead strat which was looking for the Exaflare, and there was a true brain dead strat where it was go to the exact position.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
just scan 'em.
there are ways of thinking about the mechanic without doing, like, the downtime thing that make it easier, for sure. But nothing is as easy as lol go south.
Yeah.
Just hug his butt and just slap his cheeks.
Yep.
And then take a step back, and then
Oh my
go
God.
back in and slap his cheeks again.
Doing risky things on B7. That sounds a bit too scary for my liking.
Yeah,
And then cringe
any
every
thinking
time.
that you can remove from a Shakey's phase, you do.
Any thinking you can do to remove from DSR in general is just better.
Yeah.
I'm honestly curious what they're gonna do for Omega. Like, is it gonna be like just 5 phases, but like there's no door boss?
I don't
Well-
think they're going to do the door boss thing again. I think they only did that because of how the rewind works. I don't
And a lot of
expect
people
we'll ever
waste
see
time
that.
trying to save hardship on the first time.
Yeah. Like,
There's
I
also
think that
just
only
like a-
existed because it was intertwined with the puzzle, basically.
It was also such a pain in the ass to do nights again every time you like need a break or something.
Yeah. No, literally,
I'll say,
we went in there, we saw a checkpoint, raid leader was like, okay, everyone has to level their crafters. Which we did. that is why I can now repair gear.
My scholar, literally when we got there and we saw how quickly gear broke, we like fucking... They grinded the fuck out of their crafters in a single night just so they can repair gear in DSR.
Holy fuck. I
That
did it over
costs
like
some
4
money.
days.
Yeah, Phantom grinded overtime. This was like before they introduced the whole you could repair...
Dude,
other
it was
people's
so
gear.
evil that they did that shit a patch after DSR. Like, everyone had
Wouldn't-
already leveled their crafters, and then they let you repair for other people.
Wouldn't be surprised if that was like in response to DSR.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it
I'm
probably
pretty
was.
sure it was because of that. I know there were a lot of people complaining about repairs in DSR.
Yeah, so it's more likely that you guys got fucked and there was a good change that came out of it,
Yeah.
opposed to them like trying to shit on you.
I mean, having my crafters leveled isn't really a negative, so...
I remember I did a Blue Mage 012S party, and when we got to phase 2, someone's gear broke. And I'm like, okay, I guess we start over, guys.
F.
Rip.
That's fucking wild.
Now it's just like, whatever. Honestly, I think they should just remove gear durability. Like, I don't know why it's even a thing. You know, maybe there's some logistics, like, oh, you guys need a gill sink or something like that. Like, bro, just remove it. Who fucking cares about gear durability? Like, it's not like my gear does less stats if it's, like, closer to breaking. Like, it's not broken, it's good. Like,
I
can we
feel
just
like
remove...
FF just, on some topics, like gear durability, they just feel the need to, like, stick with traditional MMO elements. I don't know. I don't think there's a good
I
reason it's still in the game.
I know in WoW a bunch of these like upkeep things that cost a little bits of gil but are very frequent are just to like pull some of the gil in the game out of the economy. Because at least in
Barely
WoW,
anything.
there's so much gold in the game that they're just trying to come up with all these ways to pull some of it out because it like really fucks up markets. Because just like real life, there's a massive disparity between like the top 10% and the rest of the game, like the top 10% of like half the gold or whatever kind of thing.
The 1%.
So
So,
yeah, because you get situations where like people just control markets in that game.
I mean, I literally shifted the entire guild market in Diablos in my favor by just buying everything.
Yeah, and that stuff can be a big problem for the average player when you try to go get your pots and then they're like 4 times the price they should be because some shithead bought them all and relisted them
Dude, someone was
just
doing
because they
that on
can.
Aether earlier. Like, I looked and one was at like 2.5, and then I actually went to the market board and it was at like 4.9.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, when they buffed all the caster classes, the pots disappeared, and I took advantage of it and listed and sold a bunch of intellect potions for like 6K.
I
Yeah.
should have because I made.
I just did that when the astronomy
500.
was used on the relic weapons because all the materials became expensive.
Oh yeah.
So I just went around and bought all the pots and then put them back
Oh
up.
yeah, that's why pots are a little more pricey now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the material is expensive.
It's actually cheaper to buy the pots and buy the material and craft it yourself.
Where
Dude, the crazy thing is the crafted gear still sells a ton. Like,
I like.
most pieces sell like 6 to 15 like individual pieces a day. Like I sell caster chests for like 150k,
I think
200k.
those pieces are staying up right now because eventually in 6.3 we're gonna get the final crafting set. They'll probably use those materials.
Yeah, they made this crafted set really annoying to craft too, so it's probably a lot less flooded than last year's.
What was
Yeah.
last year's? It was like, what was last year's called?
Classical.
Called.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, back in Shadowbringers, the last.
Oh,
Neo-ish Guardian?
Exarchic.
Yeah, Exarchic was
Oh,
the
never
last
mind.
time.
Was Neo-ish the middle one?
I think it might be
Yeah,
the
that's the middle one.
first. No, yeah,
Right.
you're right. It's the
Guardian, I
middle
think
middle
it's
one.
480, and Exarchic is 510.
Zarkic. Oh, it's that's crafting and stuff. Yeah, this used the same thing as yeah, it used the exact same thing as like some of the combat gear. So the new crafting and gathering sets they're gonna make is gonna recycle those materials and probably have like a new material created
New,
in the
very
process.
expensive material because usually the crafter only material gets insanely expensive because of the whole.
It's rough. Like I'm an omnicrafter and I did craft let's see, 2 sets of crafted gear to use this year. And it like the material you need some ridiculous materials. Like you need a bunch of materials from Fates. You need new materials that you need like almost bis melds on the 590 crafted gear just to harvest. And then yeah, you need really high stat breakpoints just to make the pieces. Like it seems I haven't played the game for that long. I started this expansion, but it seems like it takes a lot of stuff that's quite expensive and difficult to acquire.
You
I
have to
remember when the
literally pentameld your crafters and gatherers every time there's a new crafted set.
No. You don't need to do it exactly when it comes out. You have the entire patch to do it. Luckily.
Yeah, you have the entire patch to get your crafters and gatherers melded. Hell, you can even skip gatherers. Honestly, you can skip gatherers. And we all know the bots are just gonna fucking list the individual mats for like 500 gil each. Like, you can skip gatherers super easy. Crafters is like where it gets really crazy because like you have to meld every single piece and like pentamelt that in like a very specific way.
Oh
And
my
then you
God,
have to do, and then you do your tools as well if you want to be really sure you can craft stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
This
the
year was
way that you
funny.
make money on gathering is just spirit bonding at the start of an expansion.
Yeah.
And then
so
people
good.
forget. And then, like, I don't know, some people actually do the gathering nodes. And I'm like, bro, that's like 600 gil each, my guy. It's like pennies now.
When you make the like first rank of crafts where you take the astronomy tome item and then pump those 600 gil mats into it, those things sell for like 20-30k. Like
Oh,
I was selling bars for like 30k last week. It's like, holy fuck, I'll go hit a time
People are
node
buying that?
once a day. Yeah, well
just buy a stack of 99 or like whatever and convert that.
People gobble that shit up.
I wish I could chain macros because. And I
Bro,
know you
I
technically
wish
can.
I wish I could run just a macro and just leave it AFK so it like makes a stack of 99 ingots for me. But at the same time, I know that'll just destroy the economy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys do know about the plugins that do that, right?
I know about
I don't
the
use
plugins to do
third-party
that.
tools. I'm literally
They-
a clicker and I don't use third-party tools at all.
They're
I'm very
technically
vanilla.
illegal.
Damn.
I never use them. I think if you use them, you're a degenerate.
that's
Well-
me, baby.
Okay, Popo, but then you're asking to put up the logs every time. You
Yeah, don't you parse?
Fucking got him.
Fucking caught him, damn near killed him.
Oh, I mean, ACT ain't that bad, you know what I'm saying? I'm just...
I probably never would have started using plugins if it wasn't for fucking NoClippy. Like, I learned Machinist, and then I'm like, hey, wait a second. I literally cannot play this job with my ping. So, I don't feel bad about that shit at all.
It feels so bad. to play
It is
with
actually
non-clip
unplayable if you have more than 30 ping.
Yeah, it's just like clip, 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 clip,
Yeah.
clip. And lost
You
the
can't
clip.
weave in between heat blasts with like any amount of reasonable ping.
It's still like that to this
Yes, yes it is. It has never been
Interesting.
fixed. Because they never added OGCD queuing to the game. So like, unless you hit your OGCD, the frame that you're allowed to hit it, and that lines up well with your ping, it'll be late, and then you'll clip your next heat blast.
No, it's even worse than that. You do queue the OGCDs. Like if you hit it slightly before, it's going to queue. But the problem is that for some reason, the client waits for the server response before letting you do any action.
God bless
So
you
you-
for also mentioning the frame rate.
So if
Fucking
you're
frame rate, dude.
you have ping, your animation lock, like if you have 200 ping, your animation lock is like half a second longer than it should be. It's really
Yep.
stupid.
Yeah, if you have 60 FPS, your GCD is like 0.015 longer than what it needs to be.
Oh yeah. the
FPS
curse,
is a whole other fucking discussion, dude. The fact that your GCD is linked to your FPS in this game is ridiculous.
So if you have higher frames, is it lower or is it?
So if you have 60 FPS, you wanna be locked at either 61 or 121. I'm pretty sure are the numbers.
Yeah, there are optimal numbers. It's not just like higher is better. There are certain numbers that have the least GCD tax, and there are certain numbers that have more GCD tax.
But like 60 is specifically bad. And of course, that's what the game wants to be played at.
What the
Yep.
fuck?
Yeah.
Is the game 60 or 30 on console?
30, and that's even worse.
Oh god.
Yeah, so a lot of people use plugins to like hard set their FPS.
Alex has a thing for that. Alex also has a workaround for it that is apparently
I don't know.
just-
I like NoClippy over Alex because Alex allows you to like actually cheat.
No Clippy is also literally cheating. What do you mean?
NoClippy is just doing better OGCD queuing. Alex
Yeah,
like
but
literally cuts off your animation.
No Clippy removes the internal lock on the GCD.
Does the same thing.
It's literally cheating.
Okay.
But I mean, the thing you're moving is stupid because it only affects you if you have ping. It is stupid, and it shouldn't be there.
Yes, I definitely agree with that.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
how
here
long
it
are we
is.
gonna wait for
Okay,
Val?
okay, so let's have that discussion. How long are we willing to wait, or when do you guys just want to call it and pick this up on Friday?
Have you messaged her? Like, have you DM'd her?
Yeah.
Try to get a response? Okay.
Is this?
I assume something in real life happened. I think she's been late to like one raid day, and I've played with her for almost a year. So like this is abnormal.
Yeah, she's usually the literal first or second person. Actually, no, she's third. Phantom and Jeff beat her every time, I
In the
think.
same.
Dude, when you were in charge, you're always posting PF 30 minutes early, and like today you're in the chat like, yo, when did we raid? It just made me laugh.
Yo, I mean, I don't have a schedule. Like, were we supposed to go until 9 today, or were we supposed to go to the full 3
I
hours?
can like write it in a channel or something, but 7 to 8:45 Eastern is our Wednesday raid time.
Are we normally
Oh.
doing Tuesdays? 'Cause I can't do Tuesdays, but I can do
So-
Wednesdays now.
Okay, so here's the thing, like our clears went all right last week, and you do a good job. So I think it would be worth it to keep you around and just raid Wednesday, Friday. If the group is adverse to that, if they really want to raid Tuesday, Wednesday, then we'll go from there. But if people are fine with it, then we would just raid Wednesday, Thursday. I guess another thing to
Wednesday,
make sure we have, or yeah, sorry, Wednesday, Friday. And then I guess the other thing is like if people could make it 15 minutes earlier on Wednesday, so we could go for like 2 hours. I think that'd give us a really good chance of clearing every Wednesday. And then ideally we would clear Wednesday and then, you know, like parse or just call Friday, whatever we wanted to do week to week. Like for instance, I know some people mentioned that they'd like to do like some P6 parsing. So, if people are down once we do our reclears Friday, I'd like to like go into P6 and do some parsing in there, and then maybe do another fight that's pretty basic, like probably P7, because there's basically not really any parsing strats. You just kind of do standard.
P8 is also the same thing. We just
Yeah.
jump really fast. Like every fight.
You mean like door boss or which one?
Yeah, door boss.
Okay.
Doorboss, you have to
RNG until you
reset
get
for
snake
snake,
first.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
annoying.
one.
You
Annoying
just,
thing,
you just
but-
die until like. you
Yeah.
get
Just
snake
die until you
first.
get snake first.
Sometimes I'm gonna dog like 8 times. in
You
a
can
row.
still technically maybe just get something if it's dog, maybe depending on your job, but
You
dog is
really fucking
cursed.
can't,
No.
dude.
Like, so you have the downtime because you'll get dog 2 first.
Yeah, they don't remove dog 2 downtime from logs, so that's why it's like a shit.
My parse literally went
Kill.
up by 60
You can-
percentage points when I got a kill that killed before dog 2 the first time. Like doing the same rotation with the same gear.
On top of that, because there's so many clear parties that just kill the boss even if they get dog first, there are many like quote unquote scuffed logs, so you tend to get pretty good numbers. But yeah, back to the topic at hand. It's already past 30 minutes. I think I'm gonna just let you guys go for the day. We'll reconvene on Friday. As I said, we did good last week. I'm confident we will full clear on Friday. So that will be the plan here. Remember, we raid 7 to 10 Eastern.
You have that written down somewhere? Because I didn't.
As I said, I'll write it down. I'll literally make a channel right now.
Yeah, because I
Just
didn't know
write it
how
down.
long we were going today, whether it was 2 hours or like 3 hours. I didn't know it was like an hour 40.
Yeah, I will pin. Well, let me ask right now. Can everyone do 15 minutes earlier? So we have 2 hours on Wednesday?
I can't do 15 minutes early here every other week. So like
Okay.
next week that doesn't fly for me.
Okay. That's okay. That's fine. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write down the times in the FF channel and then just pin them. It'll be the only pin in there. So that'll be our schedule. But as of right now, we'll be playing Wednesday 7 to 8:45 and then Friday 7 to 10.
Yeah.
Like, so wait, sweet. Can I assume you're free now?
Yes, we can do the dungeon if you would like. I now have another hour and 10 minutes about.
Let me just ask Engu.
Man, I want to parse on Friday.
Just
Bro, I
one
wanted
shot
to-
every fight, and then we can still parse.
I wanted to parse too, man.
I mean,
Come back.
It
Play
is-
my reclears. Easy.
Wait,
it's Friday night. Like, I'll be around late Friday. So, Jeff, I'm down to just join fucking parties and kill the boss with you.
wait a second.
I have this
I
Friday
have-
off because it's Remembrance Day.
Sam?
Or do something.
Wait, I have something giga-brained that only the supports can accomplish.
I was just going to do a clear and then come back with my ult for you guys.
We just kill on our own time and just come on our ults, you know? And since we're letting these guys get the loot anyway.
I don't even need anything for the first one.
I mean, for 8, whatever, I don't know how many DPS need the chest, but I'm fine with taking it last if I can just know which week so I can come into my main. 'Cause my main static does free for all loot with a pug every week.
Rip.
So
Oh.
I'm fine with taking the last one. I just want to know which week it is. Just
Wait,
do
now.
it on the other character.
Speaking of Popo Jeff, if you could shoot me a list of the stuff you want on like an alt job, if you care, then let me know.
Wrote it down. I need 3 shines, 2 twines, the chest piece, and the weapon.
Okay. How close
whatever-
are you? Alright, Popo, go.
Whatever Jeff's having, that's no.
Give it to me.
It's the same thing. Like, just need augments and stuff, obviously.
Are you boys
Probably-
close? Are you boys close to like 4 books to get any of these augments?
No.
Wait.
I have 1 book of each, and then 6 of 8.
Does anyone need a lot of shines?
3.
Oh my god. Yeah, because my ult really needs a shine, but whatever. I can keep fighting for it. I just need to one roll and that's it.
Oh, it's fine. Akira, Claudio, and Natsuki, you guys need basically nothing. So I will probably give you some loot once we get everyone bis. Because I don't think it's fair to give, people like 1,000,000 twines and shines and shit. And you guys get basically nothing. So
I'm
I
fine.
will
I don't
rethink
need
that.
anything.
3
I don't need
Okay.
anything for alts because I take everything from my other static.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, back to the question you asked. For Biss, we need 2 more weapons, 2 more chests. And then I'm gonna give Claudio a weapon chest right after that. And then
I'm fine with passing on the chest this week if I can get it next week.
yeah, in
We
the
only
next,
need 2.
okay, yeah, in the next 2 weeks you'll get it for sure.
Whoever needs it this week can take it. Whoever else needs
Okay.
it.
So I'm probably gonna I think I'm gonna give Akira the weapon coffer this week unless we get the Sam weapon. Actually, even if we do, I'll probably give Claudio the Sam weapon and give Akira the weapon. So Akira's getting the weapon coffer no matter what. And Autumn, you'll get the chest. And then next week, Autumn will get a weapon and Natsuki will get a chest. Then Autumn needs 1 twine and 1 shine. So I'm gonna give him both of those this week. And then we will be full bis after clears next week. And we can work on all job stuff.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
And yeah, Natsuki said he's good. Autumn's sort of on an alt job from what I understand, because you cleared on Bard, I think.
Yeah, I progged on Fizz range.
So Akira and Claudio, if I could get alt job wish lists from you guys, just so I have them,
Oh,
and I'll write that shit down.
let's see. I have the alt job I'm working on in my main is ninja.
Well, you sent me a huge spreadsheet. Okay.
I have had Black Mage alt, but that's a different character, so it's only ninja. Don't worry about the last the bottom part.
Yeah, for now, if everyone could pick like a single alt job, and we'll focus on gearing that, that is what I would prefer doing here.
Yeah, that's good.
Also, the only thing I would need is ninja weapon if it drops. But other than that, I don't really.
We can
Here.
probably just figure out weapons as they drop.
What I'm probably going to do with the weapon coffer specifically is after we get people bis, I'm probably just going to give everyone one coffer. So everyone can
Okay.
just have an alt weapon.
Yeah, that's fair.
The fight will just drop all the weapons we need because it's so nice to us.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. It'll be interesting to see what like actual weapon drops we get here over the next few weeks.
I have a gambling problem. I just like seeing the weapon drop, even if it's not what I use. I just want to know.
Paper weapon. Don't need it. That was hog.
Okay, so yeah, that's really all the questions and stuff I had, you guys. Posted schedule, I'm gonna pin it here, and